Rose.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. What's happened?
What now?
Have we just gone straight in without the intro?
We have.
Is that what's just happened? Can you confirm that we're live, side chat? Because
we are live.
that should not have happened. Okay, like it's
yeah, now it's live.
It's literally set up to do the intro and then go live. We've just been talking about weird occurrences on the panel. Also, everybody, how are you doing? Sorry to just start triggered and go into a side quest and not introduce our guest or anything, but you've been here before. You know how we work here. And we were just talking about weird occurrences when we meet up with some powerful, talented people. And I just said, hey, we'll see you on the other side of the intro. And then the intro just didn't play. And then we just went straight into the live. You can all sit there and be like, big deal, Ron. I don't care. Unexplainable. Now, welcome, everyone. It's Thursday. It's the 13th. It's 24 hours away from the most romantic day of the year. You can feel it in the air. You know, you can feel the romance. Or you can feel the solitude. Dun, 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 depending on what side of the fence you're on. And we are here tonight to put your mind at ease. We are here to tell you that love is in the grasp for everyone. The soulmates are out there, okay? And we have got Odette, and she's going to take us through the miracles and wonders of finding love in that journey. But before we get to our guest, Miss Beverli Rhodes, look at that badge. Look at that badge. Let's make it full screen. Look at this.
Look there it is. Yeah, it's in solid steel, and it's got a little pin at the back. It arrived, and it's just so cute, man.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I checked the merch store today, and a bunch of people have bought stuff there. So thank you so much, everyone, for your support. The show tomorrow night is going to be a banger, okay? And I can't wait. I cannot wait. Wait, is that a real badge in steel? Yes. Okay.
Yes, it is. I can unpick it. Look, I can take it off.
Odette's been smited by the internet overlords again.
Yeah, there it is. There's the little thing that goes in the back. And there it is. You put that on the back.
Hell yeah.
And there we go. That's very cute.
That is awesome. It's so cool. And you know what I realized today, right? I've got windows all around my house that face out into the street. So I think I'm going to slap a big QR tag in the kid's bedroom window that faces the main street. And then the one at the side of the house faces right out into the park. So I think I'm going to do quite an aggressive little advertising campaign to all of my neighbors. Because, you know, so we get it. Now, listen, Odette, we know that you are being cursed by the internet gods this evening, okay? And we're going to do our best. And we would love to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce us to the side chat, to the community. And I want to say to everyone, before you start with oh my god, the internet's so bad, oh my god, the camera's so bad, no, this woman knows what she's doing, okay? This isn't her first time on the internet. It's not a Nokia potato she's using, okay? Just sometimes when powerful people gather in places, the internet fails a bit, okay? The more I talk about it, the more pixelated she becomes, so you know someone's listening. All right, but Odette, please introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a blessing and such an honor to be here with you and to feel the energy of the collective that comes and views. I can feel your energy and it is beautiful. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your individual expressions. I am so delighted to be here. My name is Odette. And I am the consciousness coach with At the Heart of It All. And I have just always been a highly spiritual individual since I was a little one, and really set out to understand human nature, understand the truth of our divinity, and have gone down the pathway of wanting to embody Zen enlightenment for everyone. And really, I just feel it's a mission to help us remember how to love being human, how to love the human experience, and how to remember how to love one another. and how to embrace being both human and divine at the same time, because I believe very much that we are divine beings living a human experience. And not to bypass either one of them, to learn all that it means to be divine, as well as all that it means to live a wonderful human life. And so there's a lot of tools that we teach for both of them. And God, I just couldn't love what I do any bit more. I love what I do.
You can tell. So just out the door, I want to ask you a question about humanity. Do you think that humanity's forgetting how to receive love sometimes? Do you think that people have forgotten that we often talk about giving love, but it's hard sometimes for some people to receive it or even know how to receive it? Do you think that is something that's becoming more prevalent?
Oh, absolutely. However, what I do like is that there is a zeitgeist that's growing in the consciousness of humanity that is a remembrance of self-love and self-care. And that's really where we've also forgotten just to love ourselves. If we can't love ourselves, it's really difficult to receive love from others. As much as they want to give it, if we feel unworthy, if we feel we're undeserving, if we don't like who we are, if we reject aspects of our humanity, then we reject love ourselves. But thank goodness I do believe it's changing so that we can receive more love by allowing ourselves and giving ourselves more love from within ourselves. Yeah.
Do you think that people almost, because the phrase "you got to love yourself in order to be loved," right? It's one of those cliche t-shirt, Instagram quote sort of things, right? That is such a simple, just love yourself and people will love you. It sounds so simple, but it is so potent with just how true that is. And it's hard to understand until you love yourself, because I went through a period of, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. And honestly, every time someone said that to me, all I heard was going into my ears, right? But when you finally get there and you're like, oh my, I am awesome, right? And you realize it, everything changes. Once you're not shackled by your inner monologue of self-abuse, and I've been there, trust me. And no, I mean, I'm telling you now, if I could send my subconscious to court for the crap it said to me inside my head, it is going down for a long time, right? It is antisocial. Everything's getting snapped on it. But
that's key, isn't it? That's key because you know, at the end of the day, I often ask my clients, and in workshops, I ask them, name all the things that you love. And it's very interesting to me is all the submissions, when everybody reads everything out, they don't have themselves on that list. So the part of the affirmation is to say, I give myself all the love and attention that I need. And make sure when you asked ever again, what are the things that you love? Make sure that your name's right at the top.
Yeah, somebody asked me what I loved about myself the other day. 22 minutes of voice notes. 22. And it ended with, and I don't like my shins. That was it. The only thing I don't like is my shins. I think I've got the shins of like a weathered, like Icelandic, like long distance, short wearing, hill walking snow treader. Right? Nah. And I wear shorts all the time. I don't make it easy for myself. But loving yourself, okay? And what would your advice to be? Because it's easy for us. It's easy to sit here and be like, just love yourself. And the big hairy guy's like, I'm awesome. What is the advice to the people who are sitting watching this who are currently empty? They're low, they're lost, they cannot see getting up the next day, let alone loving themselves. When we start at the bottom, what's your advice for getting the ball rolling, Odette?
That's a great question. you know, we would start with literally just your present moment, just with where you're at. Don't think about the awful future that's coming, about your awful night that you're going to spend alone. Don't think about, you know, eating alone. Don't think about anything in the future or in the past, because that can really keep you in that energy of stuckness. The best way to feel yourself, to gain power over anything, is literally just be real with yourself in the moment of where you are, right here, right now. I take a breath, I reflect, I'm feeling absolutely miserable. I want to change my life. I want to change. I'm starting in this moment by recognizing that. What can I do in this moment? What do I need in this now that would make me feel heard? Yeah. And you take it from there. If it's, I need to take a nap, take a nap. If it's, maybe I just feel ready to journal all this information out, or just to speak it out. Or maybe what I feel in this moment is rage. Allow yourself it. Grab a pillow, hit it, get it out. Allow yourself that fullness of what you're feeling in that moment. Not trying to bypass it, not trying to become anything that isn't right here, right now. And if you trust yourself moment to moment to moment, you'll actually become a lot more confident that you can trust yourself. And so moment by moment by moment, you start expressing more of yourself. You start listening more to yourself. You start being guided more by what brings you comfort and goodness. And so you're able to then climb out of that hole little by little.
That's really good. Do you not find sometimes, though, that, you know, this constant tick, 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 tick back chat where people are saying, you know, oh, you're not good enough. You know, you have this constant back chat in your head where there's this noise. And a lot of individuals that I've spoken to about how they feel about themselves, they also say, well, I'm not really clear on what my soul wants. I'm not really clear on what I want. And more importantly, I'm not ready to forgive anybody. I'm not ready to change. I'm not ready to show up consistently. So there's a lot of those aspects that perhaps individuals can start looking at and be truthful with themselves and say, well, who am I ready to forgive? So start small. And even if it's just 2 folks that you're ready to forgive on the page, it's a start. And those energies, once those energies are out, then that space that's left, that space can then be filled with something else. And once you start with that process, it gives you that ability to be able to make the difference, because it's really not, it's not one of these huge, you know, ginormous events. It's actually little by little. Have you found that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Little by little by little. It really, entire evolution and consciousness, the mastery of enlightenment are baby steps. Yeah. Baby steps by baby steps, and celebrating them because they're actually really big. And I would say, if you don't know if what you're listening to is the soul voice or if it's just the mind, you know, chatter, we'd say actually begin by accepting that. I accept that I don't know. And that I have different voices. One that feels destructive, one that feels good. And that's okay.
That's beautiful. Okay, I just want to say something. What I'm about to say, right? If you are currently clinically depressed or on any medication or have a reason to not be yourself, what I'm about to say does not apply to you. Okay. This only applies to the people who have no medical condition to be feeling where they're at and feeling low. Okay. I'm going to tell you a beautiful story. Your brain, okay. And the one thing that I often found when I went through these periods was loneliness, isolation, not knowing having anyone to turn to, and not having a positive environment around me to absorb into. But ladies and gentlemen, your brain does not know if you're talking to a person or listening to a podcast. It does not know. And one of the things that I found, Odette, that really helped me was there is a YouTube channel that was a motivational speaker. And it was, hang on one second. Now, this guy, I can't remember the name of his guy. Okay, it's Coach Payne. It's Coach Payne. I beg your pardon. So his name is Coach Payne. And for the last 10 years, anytime I start going through a period where I self-doubt, we're not talking about how I felt and the depression that I felt the other day. We're not talking about major low points. We're talking about if I'm like, oh my God, why is everyone around me not aligning with the motivation that I currently need? I need to just be lost in a bubble where, and what works for me is Coach Payne, and he is a very assertive African-American man who is quite happy to shout at you about your problems. Okay. And that's what works for me is the pick yourself up. You got to keep going. You gotta show the world. Like that works for me because my brain doesn't know if that's a person or a podcast. And it's empowering. And if you're serious about wanting to change your life and love yourself, okay, you can sit there and you can nurture this whole horrible situation that you're in, because humanity, we as a people, love the easy road, the road of least resistance. Your brain wants you sad and miserable because it's used to it, and it's like, this is comforting. Why do you think if we weren't like that, the snooze button would not have been invented? The alarm would go off and we'd just get up, but instead we go, oh no, this is nice. Oh no, this is nice. This is so nice. And we stay in our comfort, even if that comfort is at a detriment to ourselves. It is about picking ourselves up and moving forward. And again, that does not apply to anyone who has got a registered reason to feel this way. But if you are just lost, you are in control. It's up to you. And that would be my tough love advice on all of this. But again, listen to the ladies. They are professionals. I'm a hairy man on the internet who just is giving you his senses through life. But Beverli, I'll throw you over for the next question for Odette.
So I know that a lot of people are in the 2025 zone and they're playing it safe because of various things that have happened over the past few years. So we're finding individuals that are saying to themselves, I don't really want to be seen. I don't want to be on the market. It's too frantic out there. For those that are single on their own without being in a relationship, but also happy to be loving themselves, it is sometimes a very difficult path to walk alone, but there are some individuals who prefer to walk that path alone and are quite happy with that. Are you finding that this is becoming more prevalent in the 2025 cycle now? Because I noticed this certainly since January. A lot of folks are happy to be looking to themselves to say, well, what does my soul really want? But actually, my soul is happy to be where I am at the moment. What is your findings be? Because you're all the way in Hawaii. It might be slightly different. I'm not sure. So
yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Bev. When you find this self-love, when you literally spend your days in it, you never feel alone. Because when you're connected with yourself, you're connected with everything, really. The more connection you have with your inner self, with your inner light, you understand that you are connected with a multidimensional reality. with the cosmos, with the trees, with your angelics, with your guides, with your other selves. And so it is such a rich relationship that there's no need for another. Mind you, we love other people, we love relationships, we love connection, but it's not out of codependency. It's not out of need. It's just on the top where we get to create together as conscious creators. And that just makes life so fun. But yes, to answer your question, absolutely. We're finding more and more people finding that inner completion. Yes.
Yeah, this is it. And also it's individuals, you know, where we're looking at that at the moment, the world doesn't want us to hide or hold back any longer. We have got the opportunity now in 2025 where those energies are really high. The light is there. There's no more shame. There's no more need to withhold the truth. You know, you can live free this year, and you can allow yourself to get that light into your life and do some universal ordering. Order what you want to attract, order what you want to do. And also you don't need to be afraid anymore of losing, because a lot of people, particularly those that have been alone for a very long time, they are also afraid of losing themselves to individuals, but also having to restructure their lives to accommodate somebody else. But it's not always necessary to do so, because if you find a soulmate or a twin flame or an individual that vibrates on the same level, you don't necessarily have to be in the same house. You don't have to have a permanent relationship. They can actually be relationships that are platonic, and they can be in relationships that can just be what you need at that time, transitory. So you can take your power back by being certain of who you are. And that's what you've done. Being alone for a period of time allows you to understand, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to move forward. This is me in my power, and going beyond those measures to know that you've fully loved and that you deserve love. And you can allow yourself to be certain, this is me and this is the me. Be present and show yourself with that energy to the world. You'll be surprised how many people start becoming attracted to you.
Can I just, sorry, just to cut you off, Truther, I'm posting a link for you in the side chat, mate. Me and my friend Luke are starting up a podcast for men to discuss men stuff. It's going to be like Loose Women for Men. So if you feel lonely and, you know, you're feeling a bit isolated, come and join us, bro. Like, come and join us. We're going to start a community and really give men the attention they need, because the biggest killer the unaliver of men in Scotland over the age of 40 is men over the age of 40. And people taking them, it's a pandemic, okay? So men, we're going to have our little corner of the internet where we can have our say. Do you know what I'm saying? Get our nails done, have a beer. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be great. So Truther, come and join us, and yeah, hopefully you can have a few laughs here. Also, can I just give a shout out to Tony Rain? He is just spitting truths. He's just in the side chat like this, spitting the truths everywhere. And I'm digging the glasses and the whole pink thing, and I just needed to single you out, my guy. So welcome.
That's lovely.
Now, make sure you guys get your questions in for us. Now, do you mind if I touch on soulmates, Odette, right? Because we often hear sayings that exist nowadays that they were put into existence for a reason, right? Things like soulmates and little sayings that we use all the time. And often the true meaning of something is diluted in the modern era, right? Do you think that the true meaning of a soulmate is something that transcends one lifetime? Do you think that the misconception that as recurring life forms, as things that come back over and over again, do you think that there are bonds that surpass a lifetime? People can find themselves over and over again. because I think there's a lot more to the traditional sense of a soulmate, if that makes sense. It's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful thing. We all feel like we've met our soulmate, of course. But when we start looking in the deeper meanings of things and how things come around in the origins, and when we apply the algorithm of the dilution of the modern day equivalent, I often wonder what the true inspiration for that was. Do you have a take on that, Odette?
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, it's a big one, soulmates. First off, I do believe that we travel in group souls, as groups, and sometimes new ones want to come in. But I do believe that a lot of the individuals around you, you've most likely known before. And I do believe that from life to life, we do tend to incarnate in soul groups. We do tend to feel comfortable that way. Again, that doesn't mean that new ones can't come in, for sure. We also meet new souls. And I do believe that we don't just have one soulmate. We have many, many, many different kinds and beings that are our soulmates. And I think that could be really refreshing and good for people to know, so that you don't feel if one connection went sour, you think, oh, I've lost my soulmate forever. We have many, many. I mean, we're God. We create the best for ourselves. We have plenty of souls to play with. And it's also, I think, a misconception to think that your soulmate is somebody that everything is going to be rosy and dandy, and they're going to be the other half of me. Sometimes the soulmates that you meet can push every single button, and they're there on purpose to do it because they incarnated for that, to help you grow, to help you see what you're not seeing. And so when you are calling in a soulmate, you do need to be aware of what you're asking for. Because sometimes they will come in and they will be the people that push your buttons, and you'll think, oh no, this is not the right person. But in actuality, it's exactly what you asked for.
Yeah, because it's a difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. You know, a twin flame are the ones where there's been sometimes referred to as a splitter half, where there's been one soul being split into two bodies. And soulmates are two separate souls that are extraordinarily linked from all the different lifetimes and can be pulled through, not just from lifetimes on Earth's school, but also can be pulled from all the other planets and all the other systems. And whatever form they take, then immediately you will know whether there's a soulmate connection with the person that you're meeting. But it could also be a twin flame, or it can be a karmic relationship where you have a different connection with individuals. Each relationship serves a unique purpose for this lifetime for both individuals. There can be different types of connections. A twin flame can also be a platonic relationship that you vibrate at the same level as that individual, but actually it doesn't end up in a relationship where there's a sexual relationship or a marriage. And it could still be a life-changing relationship. So there are very big differences between a twin flame and a soulmate, and also a karmic partner.
Also, don't rule out the fact that humans dumb, right? The fact that we get so desperate in certain situations, we've been so alone for so long, we get horny, we get desperate, we eventually meet someone, something happens, we have a one-night stand, and all of a sudden you're obsessed now because someone's let you bang them, and you've been desperate and alone, and you fixate. Okay, an obsession can sit in. Do not be fooled by falseness when it comes to your own desires and wants if it's not reciprocated. You can want and push and try and have something from something that isn't there, and convince yourself of a soulmate, convince yourself. You need to be vigilant, and you need to be centered. Oh, there is my wonderful fiance. How are you? How are you? I hope our child is not torturing you too much this evening. We're just discussing soulmates and those who need to find eternal love. Eternal love. But it's true. I think a lot of people fall into scenarios where they get hurt because desperation, and it's a horrible word, but loneliness, isolation, it's a terrible thing. Think about how many people fall victim to false love through the internet before we even go outside and step out into the real world. And a lot of people are like, well, the last 3 times I had a human interaction, which was on the internet, it went terribly wrong. So I need to stay inside and not go outside. No, repeating the same thing over and over and getting the same result and expecting it to be different, first sign of madness. Okay, Einstein, look it up. So about changing that routine, the road of least resistance is what your brain wants. If that road is staying in a horrible scenario, you have to pick yourself up. I think we sometimes are waiting for our brains to save us. Your brain doesn't care. Okay, it's in your head. It's comfy. It's cozy. Okay, you need to force yourself forward in a lot of these occasions, but don't fall into the trap of illusion. When you yourself are vulnerable and alone, something happens and you misread it for something that it's not, and it can lead to tragic heartbreak. But then you tell yourself, that was my soulmate. No, you're an idiot and you made a mistake and you were wrong. Okay, so trust me, love is out there and you'll find it. It just has to be given and received.
Yeah, that's very, very true. We also have those, when you're starting about soulmates and when you start with attracting individuals, there are different types of spiritual connections. You might not necessarily get the soulmate. You might get a karmic partner with something that you agreed, both of you agreed on a contractual level. You agreed to work on certain things in this lifetime. And sometimes it is the time for you during that spiritual connection where there is a time for a spiritual awakening, where you do have to start dealing with certain aspects of the karmic connection that you have with individuals. So it might only be short-lived. But always remember that there's always only one twin flame. And that's the one where the soul has been split apart. And there's 2, one of each, that has been sent down at the same time. So you will find that there will only be the one twin flame that will appear in your life, but you will have, as Odette had said earlier, you will have many, many, many soulmates.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Sorry, I forgot about the pause there. You're waiting on Odette answer. I'm going to be quiet now, Odette. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, no, very well said. I love absolutely. A ditto to everything that you've said about Lev and Ron. They're very, very important points. And it is a good thing to understand the definition of them. And, with what you were saying as well, Ron, of, to not be deceived with, obsession. Such a great, great point. The way that we see it is that if you are feeling lonely, if you want that connection with another, that is a very conditioned state that society has basically imposed on us as what relationships should be, what successful humans should be, is always connecting with another, having a mate, having, X amount of sex. It's very ingrained in society. But we would say, nip that, cut that false belief, because the truth is, the connection that you begin with yourself, the uncovering and understanding of who you are, and beginning that relationship of self-love is where all successful relationships begin. It's getting to know yourself, loving yourself. Treat yourself the way you wish another would treat you. Give yourself the things that you would want another to complete in you. Get your life in order by focusing on yourself. And that will take up the time of the obsession that your mind would have on another, if you refocus on what can I do to treat myself the way that I wished another would, your life will start moving positively forward, and you'll have a much greater opportunity of really bringing in love, a true companion.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way that you put it is very beautiful and very poetic and things like this. And I think a lot of people just need to believe in that fact, because I think the most common illusion that people are convinced of is there's not enough good to go around. Why are they worthy? They've been so miserable for so long. It's this perpetual cycle of self-doubt and no belief in yourself. And I circle back to the beginning of this chat where the simple thing of loving yourself, you know, people ask themselves, what actually makes me happy? Like, I was sitting the other day and I was like, do you know what does make me happy? Like, I love my work, but that's work. That doesn't really count. We can't just be obsessed with our job. And then I heard this Dolly Parton quote, which I've already forgotten, about having a career and then not having a life. And she puts it way better, right? And I was like, whoa. And it's true, because I love what I do. But where else? I mean, obviously family, kids, you know, your partner, all that stuff. But other than collecting expensive bits of cardboard, what does make me happy? And it's weird. It's so weird, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm a workaholic. I'm actually a workaholic who doesn't realize he's a workaholic. And it's a weird moment, right? Because it's a double-edged sword. If I hated my job, I'd have all the things would be what I love would be outside of work, and I'd be like, this and that. Work in a cupboard under the stairs, mate. Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting. And yeah, see, there we go. Confirmation. And it's weird, because I love spending time with my loved ones. I love being with Dan. I love being with the kids. But I need to focus more on enjoying, like actually taking time for yourself to enjoy yourself and enjoy life. And it's easy to convince ourselves that the easy road, the low resistance, the things that we do when we're at our lowest are the things that make us happy. No, they're the things that distract us from the sadness for a minute. Okay. All right. Trust me. Okay. No matter how many chicken wings you get through, that loneliness is going to come back. Okay. So let's have a little chat about identifying, because I imagine a lot of people don't have the cojones, Odette, right? How many people are stood in an elevator with their soulmate and that opportunity is gone because they don't have the cojones to be like, oh, hello, my name is Steve. How has your day been? And actually create a connection. Do you see what I mean? But how quickly would you be to look her up on social media and ping her a quick message, right? No problem. But actual real world connection. So what would your advice to be to people about making a connection in the real world? And I know that's crazy. Okay. I know listen, kids, this is how your grandparents met, outside in the real world. Okay. Doing things. All right. I know it's crazy. So if we just pretend for a second that anyone's going to meet somebody outside for a minute, have you got any advice for being observant to the signs of the universe that may be trying to nudge people along? Okay. But I mean, from a real sense, because it's quite easy to make what I'm saying here sound real creepy. But is there things that we can be taking a notice of if the universe is sending us little signals? Do you think that's something we need to tune into a bit?
So, you know, it's actually a great point. The making the actual connection. I do think we've been programmed to fear one another. Not only to fear oneself and our own power, but also to fear other people, and to create division, and to keep, you know, all your thoughts to yourself, to keep all your energy to yourself, to, you know, protect. And that's not necessary. In truth, yes, there are bad people. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But why don't we talk about all the phenomenal people that are on the planet?
Sure. I agree.
Right? There are, everywhere I go, I'm a world traveler. Everywhere I go, I meet phenomenal people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, all it takes is a smile. All it takes is showing up, is just being there. It's just an acknowledgement. It's you know, a nod when you're at a restaurant. It's, I see you. And
Yeah.
I'm unthreatening. It's okay. When people sneeze, bless you, to interact, to break those bubbles of fear. And it's so interesting because the moment you do it, others enjoy it. Like their bubble bursts and they start then interacting with you because we want connection. Human beings are social beings.
Yep.
We want to interact. We grow, we expand through connections. So the first thing I would say is allow yourself to go out and let yourself make that eye contact. Let yourself smile to other people. You can begin the communication with physical communication. It doesn't even have to be that direct, I'm going up to you and saying hello. It can just be that I'm here and I'm giving you a smile and I'm keeping myself open to your energy. If that person is conscious enough, they'll feel your openness. And that moment that they look over and they see your smile, they smile and you have that connection. And that connection is made non-verbally.
Yeah.
When you see that sign, then it's isn't it a beautiful day? Or, oh, it sucks to be waiting in this line.
Yeah,
or
I think you touching on the smile, right, is a perfect example of this. Now, have you, this is a silly analogy, right? But have you ever heard of it, an experience bar in a computer game, Odette? The more you do something, the more the little bar goes up, and then you get more experience and you level that thing up. Now, guys, girls, if you struggle with talking to people, I want you to play a game with yourself. When you're out shopping, I want you to give yourself experience points for making eye contact, giving a smile, okay? And then building up to, now listen, guys, here's a little one you can do. If you just want to practice talking to people, stand in Walmart at the scented candle section, and every time a lady comes in, pick up a candle, open it and go, do you think my wife would like this? Okay? She is going to then talk to you because you, A, have a wife and you're adorable that you're buying her a gift. It's all lies, okay? It's all lies. Yeah, but you're getting the experience of talking to the lady. To the lady, okay? She's there. She's not on a screen. Do you think my wife would like this? Oh, I think that is very nice. Thank you very much. And then you can go around the corner and break into a cold sweat and freak out, okay? But just get over the fear of human interaction. And ladies, it works for you guys too, all right? Just stand around like the artisanal beer section and be like, do you think my dad would like this? Okay, don't say husband because we're not going to care. All right, we're not going to care. Just say your dad. Okay, but it's true. You've got to get over that and creating natural occurrences that aren't threatening, that don't include sexual overtones, that aren't in a place where people would feel threatened. The frickin' candle aisle. Do you think my wife would like this? That nobody can ruin. You would have to really go out with my instructions to ruin that for yourself. So just learn. If you've not been out in a while, have a wash, put on some nice clean clothes. And also as well, if you're going to adopt the smiling approach, please, please, please have a look at what you look like when you smile in the mirror. If you're one of these people with the smiles, you're going to have to work on a new smile. Okay, you're gonna have to change it up. All right, you can't be the creepy. How you doing? You can't do that. You gotta be self-aware. But I strongly suggest would my wife like that? Learn to talk, learn to interact, and it's a beautiful thing. Having that moment where you're like, oh my god, I just spoke to someone. Do you know what I mean? And it'll build it all up for you. And that is my little hack to anyone. Now, what I'm not saying is go out and assault anyone in Walmart. So if anyone has heard anything that remotely sounds like assault someone in a Walmart with a candle, I have not said that. Okay, it's about conversation. Would you have any advice? Oh well, you've given us our fantastic advice. But Beverli, what do you think? What do you think about advice for, and if you're maybe past that? In fact, you know what? I'm going to let you pick a question. I feel like my ADHD has side quested us enough on this one, Beverli. I'm going to let you put us back on track here.
I'm gonna say a few things here, and it's really about, I get asked this pretty much every day with clients when they're not involved with someone, or when they've moved out of a relationship and they're wanting to move forward. And it seems like a lot of individuals, particularly in today's world, they seem to be missing the signs and the connection. They miss the signs that this person is possibly a soulmate, or is a twin flame, or someone that you've got a karmic path that you need to walk together. And what is key now is to understand that when you look at that person, or as you've been saying, just smile at the person, then your gut itself will always react to every type of soul relationship, whether it's a soulmate, whether it's a twin flame, whether it's a karmic partner. Your inner being within your gut brain will recognize that soul that is coming near you, walking to you, or walk past you. You will have that instant connection. So most important, listen to your intuition, listen to what the gut brain is telling you. Oh, I know this person. I can feel this person. This person was in my soul family in a past life, so that you know that you can share a deep level of consciousness. You can cross paths with that individual because there is a strong sense of familiarity and a strong sense of comfort with them. You might even, when you look at them, you might even recognize them instantly as someone that has a spark that was with you as the soul family in a past life. And that will translate into your body. Your organic body will immediately recognize, this is somebody that I know. This is somebody that it has come to me in a past life. Let's have a look. The next key powerful connection sign is that little breath, where that breathing becomes either heavy, or you have to take a double breath, where that's that double breath, where you think, oh dear, time has stood still for 2 seconds. And that's usually when a soulmate or a twin flame or a karmic partner is in proximity or is approaching you. And those are the key things, I think, is don't miss the signs.
Such great points. I absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely. Again, big ditto for both of what you've said. I feel it absolutely 100% as truth. An interesting idea came to mind that I feel to share. And it's a little here, it's a little there, but I'll share it anyway. And that's, I noticed a huge difference moving from Mexico to the United States in how men treated me here. Oh. And as I travel the world, men tend to treat me differently based on the culture. And it was so significant that I did look into it. And in my women's group, a group that I have, we talked about it. And we realized that there has been a lessening of testosterone in many men. And we do think it's very much like in the foods that we've eaten, in the way that it's been indoctrinated how to treat women. It's almost that movement of feminism that went too far. That is, you can't approach a woman. If you approach her, oh, it's, sexual harassment. And I think many men have been terrified of just stepping into their manhood and saying, here I am. I'm a man. I find you attractive. Love to meet you.
Do you know?
And I can't.
It's interesting you say that. It's even before manhood. There was people talking about a whole generation of teenagers who are too scared to make the first move, who are too scared to be alone at a party with a girl, they're just so freaked out that a whole generation are feeling incapable because of that stigma, if you will. And I mean, it's the classic tale of the few ruining it for the many when it comes to being pieces of crap, let's be honest. What would your advice be? I mean, what would your advice be to the difficult era of our evolution as a human? The young teens, 16, the 17-year-olds who are just, everything's too much. Like, what would your advice be for them to sort of step forward and not have to worry about these stigmas?
Yeah. First of all, I think it's important to talk about it.
Yeah.
For men to know, I know more women than not that say, where are the men? They don't approach me anymore. And there are many, 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 many women, I'm telling you guys out there, who would love just a little, hey, you look good today, or how would you like a cup of coffee, or just a hello. And two things that I think would be really, really wonderful. One are those conscious male groups, like the one you mentioned, Ron. Yep. For men to get together again and celebrate their testosterone, celebrate their manhood, celebrate their innate maleness, right?
Yeah,
to give yourself permission to be all that you are as a man.
Yeah,
I think is extremely important. But they're conscious circles, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be it's the consciousness bit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you.
The second thing is the importance for all of us to understand that we have masculine and feminine energies within us. We all do. And it's of extreme importance for each of us to balance them out. So the masculine energy of setting up structures, of getting things done, of taking action, of being active during the day, of taking care of business, if you will, right? These are just a few, just to give you an idea. The feminine energy is the nebulous, the intuitive, the emotion, the obscure, the nighttime energies. It is a lot more imaginative. It's a lot more submissive. The masculine is a bit more active, right? So balancing both of these energies within us so that we're in coherence with ourselves. That when we see somebody, we can take action and say, hey, hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
That's me stepping into a little bit of my active male. And that's great, right? But there are other times when if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, want a cup of coffee? It'll bring me a great amount of joy. And I'm in the receiving end and I say, you know what? I love it, right? But it's having that balance between both. And if you're feeling extreme fear of acting in your life, we would say take a look at the male energy within you to get that a little bit more balanced, right? And it would be the opposite if you don't receive and you're just constantly going, is to check in with that receiving energy within yourself. Because we're happiest when we're at balance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just a really good point here about, again, from Tony Rain, just freaking spitting facts, my G. you know, some men are afraid to now open doors for women because of, you know, feminism and all this kind of stuff. Now, listen, chivalry, as it's called, okay, when you open a door or pull out a chair, okay, is just a nice thing to do, okay? It doesn't mean the woman cannot open the door, okay? It doesn't mean they cannot pull out. I will be honest with you, though. Why is it that you can maintain your cool, and the minute you've got to pull a chair out, you become a fumbling idiot as a man, right? Like, do you have a point of reference in your head for how hard you need to pull a chair out for it to come out? It's not something we do all the time. And we get there, and for some reason, as a man, we tip the chair back and try and drag it out from under the table. I don't know what happens to us. So stick with opening the doors, my guys. If it's a date one, don't go straight to pulling out the chair, because you will ick it in about 5 seconds flat. You will go from, oh, he opened the door for me. Oh, oh my God. Oh, in a second. And the chair doesn't care. The chair does not care. The chair does not care. And God help you if you don't just accidentally nip a bit of the tablecloth with your finger and you pull it and everything goes on. No. Open the door, okay? Leave it at that. The chair is an advanced move, and they trick you with a chair. It's an advanced move. So chivalry, right? Chivalry is something that, now listen, it's not so much that it's dead, but is it become cringe? Like, ladies in the side chat, is this a generational thing? Are half of you going to think chivalry's a bit cringe because it's a bit outdated, or is it still a nice thing to do? Let me know in the side chat. 1, if you like it. 2, if it's dead. Let me know. Stay away from the chairs, boys.
Stay away from the chairs. As an older person, in my day, it was definitely the done thing.
Yeah.
And we would all make sure that whoever we were dating at the time, if they didn't open the car door and if they didn't pull out the chair, and when you came to the table, if they didn't stand up, you'd think that he was a bit of a rude, silly sausage, because that was the done thing in those days. But I think nowadays, with the way that children are and youngsters are, I've seen people wearing hats at tables around the wrong way, and they don't get up and they just carry on eating, and they don't even bother. But you know, that's the price you pay for the future, and that's the price you pay for growing up and moving along in society.
Yeah, well, sometimes you go out to a restaurant with your partner, and sometimes after the first course they get a bit ill, and sometimes you've already ordered a bottle of wine and you sit and you drink the wine and you get smashed, and then you're leaving the restaurant with your partner and a guy walks past with 2 corgis and you get a bit fixated with the corgis, and then you and Dan end up waiting for 20 minutes for an Uber. But listen, sometimes these things happen. Corgis are amazing, all right? But I will say, I think it's nice to keep these things alive if you're with somebody who appreciates it. You know what I'm saying? Opening the door and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit cringe. It's a bit cringe sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Like, could you imagine 2 21-year-olds going on a date to a pub and the guy's like, no, allow me. Do you know what I'm saying? That sort of things. It's just, that's where it gets a bit cringe. But I just think that these things are so important when you're in moments that matter with someone who matters. You know, like if you found someone you really care about, opening the door, making a titty yourself, pulling the chair out, that's when these things become the brownie points, boys. Okay, these are the little subtle things that stack up in your favor throughout an evening, and you want to make sure you collect as many of them as you can. Okay, boys, get the brownie points earned, get them bookmarked, get them banked, and then get them spent. My G's. But it's the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? But my advice for everyone, okay, on the path for love, is exactly what we've said from the start. Love yourself and be open, okay? Don't put yourself in stupid situations, okay, in the pursuit of love. Like, don't follow a guy who looks real cool under a dark bridge because, you know, Ron said to follow love. No, okay? Use your brain. But I think this year, just maybe step outside your comfort zones as well. Like, if you know, go to a museum. Like, sounds boring, right? But, you know, go and look at some old stuff. You know, it's a crowded place. It's very unlikely something crazy is going to happen. But if it does, it's probably going to be a mass event. So consider that too, okay? But it's one of those places where you can just start to be around other people. And I think it's important for us all to embrace the outside and the reality of the world and hug a tree and like lie on the grass and see what comes from it. But most importantly, discover what you love about yourself. And if you can't find anything to love yourself about yourself, get a dog, okay? And it will teach you everything that you need to know about why you're awesome. You'll drop something on the floor and the dog will be like, that was amazing. You're amazing, right? And before you know it, you'll just have this newfound respect for yourself because this animal is just thinks everything you do is incredible. You can never underestimate the power of a dog when it's just you and if you don't want to look after yourself, get a dog, look after it. It will make sure you learn how to love yourself. That's some of my advice. What do you think about animals with regards to making us feel uplifted in our lives? Odette, what do you think about the power of our furry friends?
I'm sorry, of what?
I'm saying, what do you think about the power of animals when we're feeling lost and the power that they can have to sort of remind us about what it is to love something and be appreciated and loved? Because sometimes human connection is something that people aren't ready for, but sometimes having that little furry four-legged guy that's going to look at you and be like, you're just awesome. How are you awesome all the time? Do you think that for certain types of people or in certain situations, that's a good option for people as a way to get back into the learning to love and receive and give of that?
Absolutely. 100%, 100%. Our fur animals, our fur lovies. Oh, I don't know where we would be as humans without them. They truly embody the love of giving and of receiving love. I don't know where I would be in my life without my furries. You know, I think that it's extremely important to also be able to have connection with another living being. So if you are alone, you know, a dog, a cat, any being that you can embrace and hug and have that moment of connection is of extreme importance. My kitties, my dogs, they get thousands of kisses a day.
Yeah. Listen, if you don't love yourself,
love to give, you have.
Yeah, you've got to love yourself to have a cat. Okay, if you hate yourself and you get a cat, the good chance are it is going to push you over the edge, mate. It's going to be sitting there going, oh, you hate yourself, do you? Oh, is this your glass of water? Oh, too sad to get up and clean it up, are you? Ah, no. A cat is when you're feeling better, okay? I'm sorry, Odette. Some cats are mental, mate. Mental. Okay, but carry on. I do apologize. Sorry, you got it. It's the ADHD.
No worries. Absolutely. Cats are very unique energies. Cats are very, very unique. But if you do have one that's a little bit of a bastard, there's teachings in that for you, because you've chosen that cat has chosen you. So there's lessons to be learned there, and even why you would allow that to have a relationship with little bastard, right?
Yeah. I think the lesson that you learn is you should have got a dog. To be honest, Odette, I think that's the lesson that you learn from a little cat. Because listen, cats aren't. I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of metaphors in this, but that doesn't save you from waking up every day because your cat is smashing you in the face with its claws at 6 a.m. just to be a pain in the ass. All right, you don't need that when you're depressed. Okay, you're a smart lady. Listen to everything this lady and her teachings, except the thing about the cat. Okay, just get a dog, or get a stuffed animal. Because cats will drive you over the edge. Once you're okay and love yourself, you can live with something that wants to convince you that you're a complete a-hole, okay? Because the cat will. Some cats are cool, but man, the cat's going to be like, oh, you're sad. You're one of them. You think I'm here to make you feel better? Well, get ready for a ride, my guy. Oh, this is your phone charger. Watching you. So, animals are incredible. And I just wanted to get your take on that, as you know, somebody who's vast more knowledge than I do, because I think it's so profound, the moments that we have with our pets, right? I mean, I had a dog, I had a German Shepherd, my familiar Thor, for years. He passed away last year, And the moments that I had with that dumbass in my life that are so profound, like he'll just sit up and he'll look at me and you'll make an eye connection. Then we'll both look at something and we'll both look back at each other and he'll just flop his head down and go back to sleep. And it's just like, yeah, you get me, my guy. You get me. Do you know what I mean? Because he's only woken up to look at a pizza advert on the TV or something. I'm like, yeah, mate, pizza, right? Do you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. Or moments when I would go camping, or moments with your family, or moments where you're protected by them. You know, something happens and they save you. You know, people often say they prefer animals over dogs. Animals over people, sorry. I can understand that, but not for me. Like, people are awesome. It's about balance and harmony, and it's about believing that there's enough good to go around and that you are worthy of love, good friends, good company, and get over the lie that you don't deserve it. Because until you convince yourself of that, sadly, no one's coming to save you. You know? No one is coming to save you. You have to be proactive. You know what I'm saying? Definitely don't get a cat, though. So, Beverli, what is our next? Let's see what the wonderful side chat has to say. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been sending in the donations. Jacqueline, Work for the Light. Thank you very much. Let me just get to these ones first. Thank you for everything with Bev and Guest Family Atwood. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm on my own 17 years. Will that change anytime soon? Don't know. Working for the Light. Have you listened to what we have said today? 17 years is a long time. Okay. Yeah. And I hope so. But I often have, it's easy to turn around and say, I've been on my own for 17 years. I mean, there could be a lot more to that than meets the eye. But certainly we have to put ourselves out there. And we have to allow ourselves to be seen, if you will. We have to be seen to receive. Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. And also the most important thing there, working for the light, is to understand, does my life have room for another person in it, for more pleasure, for more play? And does my energy show that I'm blocked off? I just said this to a really good friend earlier on when she was telling me that she's going out on a singles night on Saturday for a Valentine's party. And I said to her, make sure that your energy is not shut down and closed, and that actually your life has got room right now for more play, for more pleasure, for more happiness. Because if you go out with the shut down in front of you, that is the energy that people will pick up, because energy and frequency vibration is everywhere. And she is a lady over 50. So she does tend to believe, over 50, we're invisible. Well, actually, not over 50, not everybody's invisible. So I said to her, change that energy, change that facade, allow yourself to be open and go out with a different attitude. And I'm sure that your party will actually end very well for you. You'll have some interesting people that you meet. So change the way that you push out your energies.
I would love to see somebody in their 50s totally misinterpret what Beverli says in one of her sessions and goes out just dressed to the nines in like 21 Forever or some inappropriate clothing. And she's like, I was told to put it all out there by Beverli Rhodes. No, you got it wrong. Okay. Metaphorically. Okay. Metaphorically. But yeah, no, it's exactly right. And I mean, this is another thing. Singles nights, organized fun for grown-ups, guys. Okay. Listen, I know it doesn't sound cool. Okay. I know 20 years ago you'd be laughing your ass off at the folk over 50s going to these things. It's better than sat by yourself in the living room. Okay. Just think about it, right? Think about it. The next 40 years of your life alone in the living room. Maybe you've bought a cat, maybe you've not. Or just taking some chances on organized fun is good. Organized fun has got security guards. It has got everyone's name and payment details for if anyone acts like a nightmare. This is something that we've not touched on, because I think for some people, that safety net of the organized fun is actually a good thing. And I tell you something now, over 50s who think it's cringe, because when we were 20, it was. This is a thing for the young, like the younger gen do these like big group date. Imagine 10 people, 5 birds and 5 guys all going on a group date, right? And none of them are technically dating anyone. They're just all seeing which ones they want to date on this group thing. Mental. I would have got mental at different times. But what's your take on these organized events for people who they've been stuck inside, they've no confidence, they've finally found it, they've got a little bit of love for themselves, and they're like, yes, I am going to go to Sassy Susan's single Saturdays down the local, and we're going to try this. What do you think about that as an option? Because I imagine for some people the safety net is appealing.
Yeah, these are wonderful events. Go out, go try anything that you feel it's possible. Go for it. And we'd say age is completely irrelevant here. Again, this is something that we've been conditioned to believe that 20s and 30s is it. But in reality, especially nowadays, we would say lives are beginning at the age of 50. Beginning. And people are recreating themselves decade after decade after decade. I mean, we've worked with people in their 80s that are reinventing careers, that are learning new things, that are traveling the world.
Yep.
In their 80s.
Yep.
So this whole idea of 50s is, a no-go. That day, that's gone.
100%.
That's way gone.
I agree.
Lives are barely beginning. When you decide to begin, you're unstoppable. Age doesn't matter. We all are still human, wanting connection, wanting love, having so much to give. And we'd say, actually, the elder that you are, this isn't true in all cases, but you have more wisdom and knowledge to give, and you know more of yourself. Where your relationships can be extremely dynamic and wonderful. So I wouldn't put age in there, not one bit.
Yeah, can we all just for a second imagine 2 8-year-olds going at it like fucking absolute animals just for a second, just to traumatize everybody in the side chat just for a minute. You're welcome for that. See, later on tonight, that's going to pop back into somebody's head and ruin someone's Valentine's. You're welcome. You are welcome. But it's true though, right? And let's talk about the elderly. Let's talk about Uncle Jim, right? Who Carol died, okay, and now Uncle Jim's all by himself, Odette, okay? He's pushing 80 and he's by himself. Do you know there was a bunch of care homes that took Nintendo Wii's, right? And set up projectors, and all of these freaking old people, right? Like, and I mean, not only are they old, they're sad and old. So it's double the aging, right? All of a sudden, they're getting up and they're playing freaking Wii bowling and Wii darts, and they're socializing and they're interacting, and they're like, "Oh, my grandson Jimmy has this. Is that right? Is that right, Bev?" No, I don't know why I said Bev there. I just went straight to Bev.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
No, listen, it was maybe a Freudian slip. But do you see what I'm saying? It was this interaction. They were all getting up and interacting. Now, technology is at a place, Odette, where I think we need to start looking at how augmented realities can change the elderly's life, whether it's social communications, right? Whether it's we just set up a server for all the old people, right? And stick them all in a big virtual reality place where they all look young and they can walk about talking about Sinatra and like, I don't know, like stockings with seams in the war or pencil lines or some crap. I don't know, whatever people in their 80s talk about, right? Because that connection, again, our brain doesn't know that person's coming through a camera. And these old mofos have got a lot to give. Do you know what I'm saying? They really do. And can reconnecting them all, it has to be something that we should look into, because there are so many souls that just give up and drift off because of loneliness, isolation, because they feel unloved. And I'm telling you, if you put two people who want company in a room together, magic can freaking happen. You know what I'm saying? Companionship, all of that. It is just a beautiful thing. And I think it's something that's so much. Do you know what really annoys me? My mum used to be a carer, was a carer for this old lady, and her daughter was an absolute monster, right? Monster to this lady. And it was horrible. And I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand how someone could mistreat an elderly member of their family, especially when it comes to loneliness and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what my point is. I've ranted because I've got ADHD, forgotten the point, forgotten my question. So we'll just pretend like I was making a statement and not trying to make a question and hand it back to Beverli.
That's just like you. That is so funny. Oh dear. But that's absolutely fine. And I think that part of the overall view is that anyone at any age can go to any of these events and try to find who they're looking for and open their minds and their souls to where they should be at that time. And because we're saying should doesn't make you wrong, you can go to these events and decide, well, actually, I'm quite happy to be as I am, to be alone with my dog or my cat. Because bring up the dog now. Somebody asked once, well, I feel a soul connection with my animal, with my dog, and I feel that I get what I need from my dog. Is that possible that my dog is a previous soulmate? Now, I said, yes, it is possible because of the way with the incarnation and the way that souls move through different lifetimes. You could choose to come back as a deer or a horse or different types of animals. It is possible that someone who was a soulmate in a human experience in a past life decided to come back in this life as an animal or a dog or a cat to be with you, to give you what you need at this time. It is possible.
If there's any reincarnated humans who are deers watching this right now, and you chose to come back as a deer, you're a moron. I'm just telling you right now, if you're just outside a camper van watching this and you chose to be a deer, you wasted.
What am I going to do with you?
A deer.
What am I going to do with you?
Or a cat. Oh, I'm a cat. I lick my bum all day. Brilliant. No. I'm just telling you now. I'm just saying, if you come back as a deer or a rabbit, if you come back as a prey animal, dumbass. That's all I'm saying. Right. So anyway, okay. Now that I've insulted a whole bunch of people, I just want to say thank you very much to somebody who just put a donation through. I'm going to replay it here. Wishing us all Valentine's Day wishes.
Happy Valentine's. XXX.
Thank you, Ugana. Uyanga. There we go. Nailed it. Thank you so much for that. I can't remember what I said, but everyone's laughing at me in the side chat. So what's next, Beverli? Help me
with you. Yeah, sometimes you're a bit beyond help, my bro. I'll tell you. Sometimes I just don't know.
I love you, Beverli.
Talking about licking where you shouldn't be licking where the sun don't shine. You're bad boy today.
Don't pretend if you came back. Listen, Beverli Rhodes, you're not beyond admitting that if you came back as a cat, you wouldn't have spent the first couple of days going, okay, this rough tongue there's something going on here. They're onto something, these cats. I'm just saying, we don't have to admit it. We're all friends here.
Remember, I'm a Leo.
Yeah, listen, you come back as a deer, dumbass. If you're watching this and you're a deer and you're regretting it, you're watching this going, you're nodding. Somewhere there's a deer nodding in a campsite watching this in a camper van. I'm just saying.
So we've got a question here from Lorraine Treggett. I've never had a true soulmate. What can I do? Please help me find one. Thank you. So this is open to everyone. So Odette, have you got any clues for Lorraine, please?
Lorraine. Well, again, soulmates aren't necessarily always that good energy that we just find flowery and, holds our hands and uplifts us through all the difficulties and challenges. When we feel your energy, we would actually say you actually have come across quite a bit of them. They just haven't probably shown up the way in which you thought they would. Having said that, though, we understand that your question comes from that longing of wanting to be with somebody that just loves you completely, right? Mm-hmm. And so we say, use what we've mentioned here already in terms of building that connection and relationship with yourself. some really good little tidbits would be like, especially with this Valentine's coming, what we like to do is not celebrate one day. We like to celebrate life, celebrate love all year long. But if you want to bring in that special so-and-so, we would say, start romancing yourself, right? If you want that soulmate to bring you flowers, go out and get yourself flowers. Bring flowers into the house. Buy yourself that sexy lingerie, the perfume. Set that extra table set on the table. If you want somebody to make you coffee in the morning, buy those sets of coffees that drip it in the morning at their own time, and you wake up and it's made. Bring in the elements that you would want in another and already have them, so that the energy is more of completeness within yourself. When we have the energy of longing for something, it can be a bit tricky, because the energy of longing tells the universe, I don't have it. And if you're sending out the energy of I don't have, I need, I'm not complete, you're going to continue to receive that energy from the universe. So you're better off living already, I have that beautiful coffee in the morning. I have the roses. I have the lingerie. I have the time with myself. If you want to connect more with others, do it with friends. Do it with a dog. Get somebody that you can love up, that gives you love. Fill yourself up first. And as we go into the world, we would say it's of utmost importance that you be authentic. Just be you. There's no need to change things up for anyone. Be yourself. Be yourself authentically. Don't change the way you speak, the way you dress, the way to attract another person. You be you. And if you're being yourself and you're incorporating these aspects of completion, of wholeness, of not needing somebody outside, you'll have much, much better chances of, when you're outside in the world playing, when you're outside in the world engaging in things that bring you joy, when you're outside giving yourself dates, because that's a part of the romance, right? I date myself. I take myself, I put myself a picnic on the beach. I do. Because I deserve that, and I don't have to wait. And you'd be surprised the amount of people that come up to you, man, great idea. You're having champagne on the beach. Like, can I join you? Hell yeah, absolutely. Right? Take yourself out on the things that would bring you joy. And when you least expect it, that person's going to be doing the exact same thing that you love, and you're going to connect, and that spark will be there. And you didn't do it out of necessity, and you didn't do it out of longing. Life just gets to surprise you because you're already so full of love. You're already giving yourself all that you need.
Yeah,
I hope that makes sense.
It really does. Now, I just need to reiterate for all the men watching, I know you just heard, do to yourself what you want your future partner to do to you. I know you heard that. And then I know you ignored all of the bits about champagne on the beach and going out and doing nice things for yourself. Go out and do nice things for yourself and listen to what is being said to you, okay? Because I know what you're thinking. I know what you're all on Amazon right now, okay? I'm watching you, okay? You just get out of that mindset, boys. Get out of that mindset. Now, there's a lady in the side chat. Her name is something. Hang on. Where is she? There she is. Jean Grey. Okay. All evening you've been posting about you having a terrible time, blah, blah, blah. Can you give us some advice? So I've grabbed the cards for you, right? So I'm going to pull one card for you that is the cause of your issues. Okay. and then we're going to pull one card for what you can do to move forward. All right. Now, again, I want to reiterate, Ron doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? He does a little bit, but it's the card that is going to define what it is that is the main problem from your past, okay, that you want to be avoiding, Jean Grey, okay, is parasites, okay? So if you have a history of people using and sucking you in, the problems you're having moving forward stem from this. And now we're going to draw a card for you based on how you can move forward and best avoid this. 1 second, please. Okay, Wayfarer. Now, this is a really interesting one, all right? Listen to this. The Wayfarer, contemplation, search for the truth and inner guidance. So it seems that what you need to do is look inside and believe in yourself. It's almost like we've cliched circle back to loving yourself, and finding that route that is perhaps calling you, but you don't have not yet taken that first step into. And it's all about you and stepping away from the parasites of the past. Okay? That's what I'm going to take for that for you. If that makes any sense, please tell me, because otherwise I'm just a crazy man holding up cardboard on the internet. So I just wanted to get one of those in this evening.
So that's good. Well done, Ron. Well, the card I think that for Jean Grey was also, how can I deepen, which is this one. How can I deepen my trust? And that seems to be where your heart is right now. How can I deepen my trust? Because I think a lot of your heart energy is saying, second question, second guess, maybe not quite sure. And that's what I'm getting, what I'm picking up to.
Nice. Rosie, can you fire a question that you want answered? Or if you just want a Valentine's Day one, let me know. I don't mind doing a couple more of these, but I'm very, very happy to do them whilst Beverli and Odette are chatting, and they can cut back to me, and I can tell you then and there who I'm doing it for, effectively.
So we've got a nice question from Abundantly Empowered. Is it possible to successfully be in a relationship with someone who is less consciously evolved than you are? That's a really great question, Abundantly Empowered. I'm gonna pass the start of this question across to Odette, because it's a great question.
Yeah, thank you, Abundantly Empowered. You know, I would say that the way that evolution looks is not a straight line up. The way the real evolution looks is like this. And we all have moments of deep insight, greater evolution, and moments when we're just doubting ourselves, where we're having a hard time, where we meet our block, where we meet our baseline. And then we grow out of it, and we grow more and we expand, and then we meet another baseline. And so we would say it wouldn't necessarily be completely open to have an expectation of another to always be at a certain level. I think that the more conscious that we are individually, the more we're able to embrace others and just where they are without expectation. Because we're all on our journeys. And the truth is that at any given moment, one person that seems like, man, they are dull and they are not getting it, the next morning they can wake up and have an even deeper understanding than even you have. So we can't pinpoint people into assuming, oh, well, you're there and you're in a box now. And you have to get to a certain point. If you understand this, then you've realized yourself. We're all constantly evolving and growing. And I think that it's important to be flexible with others just as much as we're flexible with ourselves. Because somebody that is evolving consciously has a relationship with their shadow, and they can see it, and they can see, today I am struggling. Today I had a day where all my thoughts were in the past, and my addiction to suffering came in, and I just wanted drama, drama, drama. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay, because I'm evolving. And I wouldn't want anybody else to have expectations of me, to be with me, where I always to be in my divine aspect. I'm both. I'm divine and I'm human, and I fuck up. And I have a conscious decision to always grow. I think that is the pivotal point of importance to know. If you want to be in a conscious relationship with somebody, just that you independently have an agreement that you want to evolve, that you want to grow, and that you're doing your own path that's going to lead you at your right timing to understand yourself, and to understand higher wisdom, and to understand higher knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't think that we can expect everyone to get this at the exact same moment that we do. That would be my advice.
All right, Patty, Pure Joy Ragdolls. We're going to try something new with you. Okay. I've never done this before. So what I'm going to say to you, Patty, is I've done cards. And I just want to say to you, I'm going to give you my take without even showing the cards. And I want you to look at me, right? Somebody has put you in a state, whether it was a relationship, family, or friends, that has caused you to shed countless tears, right? And I feel like when you made the conscious decision to stop shedding those tears, you bottled up a part of yourself, or someone who you were, or who you were trying to be, and you stopped trying to be that person. Reflect and see if by moving forward and unlocking that person who you used to be, that is still dwelling inside you, that is what you need to carry yourself forward. Can you let me know, Pat, if any of that makes sense to you? And then I'll go through the cards. I'm trying to expand my brain here. Kala, you are next. Will I meet my companion this year? I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to give you what is standing in your way and what the best chances are for you to be guided that way. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to cut back to the ladies. But let us know, please, Patty, if that made any sense. But be honest, if it was a load of trash, tell me. Kala, you're next. Right. Thank you, ladies. Sorry.
So I think we've also got some really lovely items about Ruth is saying that can animals be your soulmates? And I know we did discuss it, but I thought it great to share with Ruth. And I feel my dog is mine. So it does look like some individuals in the chat, in our audience today, have actually felt exactly what we said earlier, that animals can be the soulmates. So the answer to that, Ruth, is absolutely yes. Also, we've got Jacqueline.
Oh, I just wanted to mention something quickly to Ruth, if I may. I actually had absolutely my dog's absolutely my as well, and I've had the same dog reincarnate in this life 3 times for me, and I know it's the same being over and over. And we have a relationship that really will go on for eons, where she has agreed to consistently come in for me throughout this entire life.
Oh, wow.
That's really lovely.
Right. Well, I'm going to try this again. So
Patty's giving you a response. There we go.
We're just going to keep going with this. I'm going to roll here. So Kala, the liar, okay? That liar, okay? You know who I'm talking about. That liar from the past, okay? You already know what you need to do to get what you need. And it's from personal drive and ambition. It's about self-belief. You're the one holding you back, and you've been put there by the liar. And I don't know what that means. but let me know. So your belief in yourself is all you need. You're a simple one. So let me know if that means anything. And Patty, thank you for the feedback, because I am trying to now listen to the intuition that comes in, as opposed to I'm letting the cards pull in the thoughts, and then the cards are just cards at that point. So interesting. We're evolving. We're evolving.
Jacqueline T, thank you for everything, Ron, Bev, guests, and the Atwood family. And that's a lovely picture of a doggy there as well. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the super chat. We absolutely love that.
2 for 2. We're 2 for 2, Bev. We're 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Go on then. Oh, look, you've got Carla's come back to you and said, damn, Ron, you're spot on. So you're cooking with gas, as they say tonight. Well done.
I'm figuring out this whole upgrade that I received this week. And I think this is part of it. Intuition, man. Like brief moments where you see something and then it's so hard to train yourself to shut up and not move on from that initial intuition and just, yeah.
Ron, a lovely super sticker again. Oh, look at the kitty cat. That's so cute. MB Shotty has given us a super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. There's someone else asking for some advice.
Sean, beautiful company. Thank you, Ron, Beverly, and Sean, beautiful company. Love and light. You know what? I'm just going to pull one card for Tony Rain, because I'm actually a fan of Tony Rain. So Tony, I'm just going to pull you one card for just as a basic advice for 2025 for you, my guy. Not because you've asked for it, because I'm a massive fan of Tony Rain spitting the facts. All right, Tony, for you. Oh wow, that is an ominous looking one. So I'm tiny. No one's going to be able to see me. 1 second. Let me just do this and this. So don't be put off by the spookiness of the card. The Conjurer, okay? The Conjurer, Tony, right? Higher self, fertility, and creativity, okay? So this is very much about you being in charge of your own ascension into the next stage for yourself, awakening, being yourself. You said earlier that you often have to be reborn at 40 or 50. You said yourself in the side chat that there's a rebirth where you learn to be the next version of yourself. And by God, are you not on that path, my guy? So that's for you, my G. Okay. Ron, still in shock. Listen, it's not me. I'm basically the equivalent of a television screen for information that I'm just pushing out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Ron is, everyone can do this. Okay. This is the thing. You just need to polish off the lenses, metaphorically. Okay. We've all got this. We've all got this, people. All right.
So Patty obviously is very taken aback, and she says that she's bawling, she's crying because of what you've said. So it looks like your upgrade has worked extremely well this time.
Ron 2.0 is here. I'm here for it.
We've got Haja, who has a 415 that sent us a super chat and says, thank you, Ron, Beverly, Sean, and obviously our guest tonight for the beautiful company. Love and light. Well, thank you so much for that too.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in the side chat. You guys and your collective positivity, your collective beliefs, your collective energies, all of this, even those who turn up each day or each stream and sort of have adopted my approach to people who want to be part of this but aren't ready yet to say they're believers. Believe that we believe this, okay? Because by believing we believe it, you're sending out positivity. If you're sitting there going, I don't believe this. Oh no, this isn't true. That's negative. We don't care. As long as you believe we believe it, then we're all contributing to a much better community in existence, because we have got to encourage those who will question us to be part of us. Otherwise, we are what you call an echo chamber. Okay. Mm-hmm. And without questioning, without people saying, well, actually, can you explain this a little bit further? Can you give me your experience on this? It becomes very much like you turn up and we bestow upon you. And it ain't that, because we are all capable of all these things. And it's so exciting to be part of this journey with so many people, and I'm freaking here for it. I'm fully locked in and invested. I've just awkwardly twice put the wrong cards back in the wrong box because I was talking, and yeah, I just want
using your hands at the same time.
Yeah, you're all incredible, and the fact that you'll allow me to pull cards for you, you'll allow me to be part of a solution that you're looking for, to me is mind-blowing. Because if it didn't work, it wouldn't affect you. But when you get something that is working, it's not about questioning it. It's not about asking for reasons of why it's happening. It's about embracing it and trying to give as much of it as a positive gift as you can. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Until I figure out how to control someone's mind to empty the cash register. All right. Send me the Bitcoin. Send me the Bitcoin. Okay. I mean, I won't do it a lot. I'll just do it to like really, really bad people. All right.
Really, that's always a good idea. We've got a lovely super chat from Working for the Light. And they say, Happy Valentine's on my own for 17 years. Will that change anytime soon? And the date of birth is 1509. 1978. So I will just quickly work out those numbers.
That's some numerology.
And Odette, if you've got anything that you could say to our lovely person asking about the loneliness, that would be good.
I'm tuning into your energy, working for the light, and you know, there's various things that do come in. First off, there are many souls that incarnated with the desire to experience solitude. And I believe that actually you may be one of them. And that it's not by surprise, actually, that you've been alone for those 17 years. Now, the interesting question would be, what did you really do in that time? Have you spent quality moments with yourself and cultivating wisdom, cultivating skills, cultivating knowledge? There are things within you that want to give expression into the world. Skills that you have, even since a child, that there's just these different skills. I can feel them that want to blossom out into the world. And so we would say the 17 years were, from the soul, a gift for you to jump into these skills and make them more and more and more beautiful for yourself, so that you can share those out with the world. And so it's love in a different, it's not necessarily love from a partner, but it's love with your trades, love with the work, love with the skills. Once these skills have come to blossom, once you feel ready to share those with the world, that the contract with solitude will then end. Because then you'll be ready to be on that next phase of your soul's journey. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. And also on the numerology side, with the way that I've worked out some of the numbers, I won't go into all of it, but we've also got the karma that you're bringing in this lifetime too. Is there's the part of the life's purpose with those 17 years is to be able to learn from those experiences. And the 17-year cycle that you've been through, that karma dictated by your birth date will show now that after 17 years, this is now the balance, so that your true life purpose can now open up to you. And from that, you'll find that there's also inner values, a different relationship life, as well as your subconscious mind, as well as your self-esteem. That all comes into your birth date. And that happens sometime within this year. So I'm working for the light. I hope that helps you. And thank you for this.
I've got an absolute banger for us to be winding down on. So I want this, everyone who is sitting thinking there's no hope, they're alone. I want us to just have a little think about the human body, right? And basically, we're big bags of water. A lot of us is just water, right? And we don't often think about the music, the movies, the people, the environment, the words, and how they can affect so much of us without realizing. Now, I'm going to show you something which was an experiment done by, I do believe it's Yamamoto. One second. Yeah, Dr. Emoto's experiment. Now, I'm going to pull up two images here. Now, what he done was he took bottles of water from the local river, I think it was in Japan, and he wanted to see if by simply directing intent at the water, if anything would come from it. And they used something, I believe it's a black lens microscope, to look at the very atoms that create the water. Now, these atoms are the same atoms that we're made of, the table's made of, the tree is made of, everything is made of these little tiny balls bouncing in and out of reality. Now, these are the structures of those particles in each of the separate bottles of water with different words on them. So you can see thank you, wisdom, truth, eternal, angel, I love you, peace, you fool, you make me sick, evil, polluted water, and before a prayer, and polluted water after a prayer. Now, when we see the effect that words, simply putting a word on a bottle or your body, okay? And you can see the tiny, insert science word, the tinies, and what we're made of, the atoms, whatever, act differently depending on what you project towards them. It's almost like if I was to take away your hearing and your vision and stood in front of you screaming in your face, somehow you would know something's not right. You might not hear it or see it, but you know there's something not right. And just look at this. Now imagine your surroundings. Imagine being trapped in a situation. Imagine having no way out and generations of this molecular oppression that we don't even talk about. And the craziest thing is they discovered a new particle, and it's a quantum particle. And no joke, you want a sign that all of this is a great plan. This is an actual photograph of a quantum particle. You're not dumb, people. You're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay? The fabrics of space and time, when observed, are a global recognized symbol of balance to us all. This isn't some conspiracy. This is legitimacy. What we're made of is so much deeper than we can imagine. And when we boil it down to the simplification of, hey, let's just assume we're water, baby, we'll be aware of what effects can come from who you surround yourself with, the environment, and the music. It doesn't mean you have to give up on everything that you love. If you like really aggressive, thrash metal music, that's good, but balance it out, you know? Balance it out, because once something fully transforms and becomes an abundance with one or the other, it becomes difficult to come back. Routine and the norm, positive or negative, is difficult to change. Road of least resistance, we've talked about it. So consider yourself, if you feel oppressed, but you can't figure out why you'd be oppressed, because you're all alone. But all you're doing is watching depressing, true crime, horrible factors of the world. You're only observing and taking in negativity. And then when you're done looking at the venom of the world. You slap on something that is about a violence and negativity. When your whole life is surrounded by something that your brain cannot interpret if it's real, like we've covered so many times tonight, and your body is capable of the change on a metabolic level just by being around something considered negative, the effects that it can have could contribute to how you feel. Turn it all off, go outside, and change the routine. Also, slap on some Lennon. Do you know what I'm saying? A little bit of like some Beatles. Slap some Beatles on, mate. Get some tunes on. Get the singing on the go. Get the vibes changing. If you are too depressed and sad that you're too good to act like a moron in front of yourself to change your mood, no hope. If you're sad right now, as soon as this ends, get some bullshit crap music on from your childhood, right? Some cringeness. Get it on. Get it on. Get dancing. You know what I'm saying? Put on some animals falling down the staircase memes and laugh. Because if you're not willing to try that alone in your house, there's no answers on the internet that you're going to find that are going to help you.
Yeah.
Whoa, that all sounded like I knew exactly what I was talking about there. That was brilliant. Okay, so Beverli, Odette, any last nuggets that we want to throw to the wonderful side chat? Any delicious little num-nums?
What we're going to do, yum, is Odette and I decided that we would be sending some healing energy and some energy to spark the love attributes across all the miles that we are, all the kilometers, all the miles that we have between us. We're going to do an energy exchange, and anybody who wants to absorb that, to put their feet flat on the floor and just allow that energy to waft over them at the last few minutes.
So when that's finished, if you can say, Ron, we're done, because I'm going to go and sit under the desk while this happens. I'm going to avoid all this. In fact, you know what? I've got one of these desks that goes up and down by itself. So Ron's just going to raise this.
Ron's just going to go under the desk. Okay.
Ron's going to go under the desk.
You're lucky, Ron, because you're with your soulmate.
Ron's awesome. Ron's not lucky. Ron is the benchmark for what people want to try and be in your own brain right now. Okay. Benchmark. All right. Life goals. I'll be down here. Just let me know when you're done.
We will. Okay. There we go. Right. Here we go, everyone. Feet on the floor. Odette and I are going to send some wonderful energy to you, and we hope that it reaches you. And open your heart if you want to accept it. So here we go. And we send you this with so much gratitude, with forgiveness, and with blessings. And we're done, Ron. You don't have to hide under the desk anymore.
Okay, nice one. Nice one. Do you know how many intrusive thoughts I have about making like a really loud, abrupt noise right in the middle of everyone's concentration? Do you know how messed up my brain is? Like, I'm lucky I've got the self-control that I have.
Do you know that you would have got a kick in the bottom from me?
I would never do that. But I mean, Jesus, the little rascal in my head is like, just turn on the mic and go. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I know I'm tiny right now, but I just want to say, Odette, absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for being here. And from somebody who lives in the gray, in the balance of the black and the white, I think you are what I consider a very positive representation of the light side of love and companionship and all of that. And I would love for you to come back one day when you find a part of Hawaii that has internet from the 21st century and not from 1981, right? But I would love for you to come back for us to go a little bit more in depth with the galactic side of love, the eternal flame side of love, the everlasting side, the deepness of it all. Because we all just pan life off as, because life, as we know it in a husk, is a heartbeat in the history of the world. And there is great stories and great reunitings, I'm sure, that take place from eternal souls that search for one another. And it can get really deep. And I think you're the right person to de-scramble all the crap that comes out of my brain when I try and talk about something to somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I try and explain what I think I'm talking about. And then we're in a 15-minute, is it a question? Is it a point? Who knows? So Odette, thank you for being here. Beverly, thank you for being Beverly. Side chat, what's happening? See you all tomorrow night for the big meaty podcast. Back for the Daily Show, back for Friendly Fire, back for Surviving Life, the podcast. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, yeah, I need to stop the show now. I forgot. Right, okay.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.
Like, could you imagine if I was just this small?